Hey guys, we're going to be going back to the Dark Alexander fight for another alternate clear, just to give you some more ideas. This is not really a budget run yet. This is just a mix-it-up run from the previous video. The previous one, I used Ibarra, Terra, and Vivi. If you don't have those three options, maybe you've got Olivera, Yigni, and like Kryla, Yoshikiri, etc. So let's go ahead and do the clear, and then I will show the gear and all afterwards and explain some swaps you can possibly do. But we're going to be going for like a quick clear in this video. So Olivera is just going to do Inspiring Finale. Yigni is going to do, I always forget how he works, Vitality Fountain. We're going to Floating Shadow on, I guess, everyone. What else we need? We need to do Study of Darkness, and we need to do, is that all he needs to do? I think so. There we go, we'll do that. Okay, Yoshikiri is going to do Frozen LCD to Machine Killer buff. Kryla is going to do, let's see here, Forbidden Witchcraft. We're going to do Twilight Pact on Olivera. We're going to do Twilight Pact on Louise. And we're going to do Twilight Pact on no one. We can't anymore. We'll do Elemental Wrath as well. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Louise can... Yoshikiri should get his LB gauge in a second. We'll do double Ionic, and then Incapacitate, and then just literally whatever. And then Zahn will Reflector. We will, as you can see, I didn't plan this out entirely. We'll Critical on Olivera, and we'll Elemental on Yigni, and we'll just spread those buffs out. That should be fine. Okay, so that's handled. Okay, so now we're going to use Yoshikiri to do his LB for the LB damage buff for Louise. Not Louise. For Yigni. I can't talk today. So we're going to do Chaos Wave. Whoop, we're going to shift our Louise, and we'll do Chaos Wave 4 times. Yigni will times 5. We're going to do Soul Projection 4 times, and then cap it with Seal of Doom. Olivera is going to shift at LB. And to support chain, we'll just use Kryla to Weakening Concoction. And Zahn doesn't have anything he needs to do in this clear. Yeah, we're all doing Chaos Wave Awakens. Or is this Bolting Strike? Oh, this is Bolting Strike. Yeah, Zahn will do Bolting Strike to help support chain. Okay, so we're going to start these first and then do these other guys. And that should be 20.1 or better, I hope. I didn't really calc this or anything. I just like threw a team together and figured it should work, so we'll see if it did or didn't. I don't know. 22, there it is. So we got it going. Okay. Worked out. Yeah, I didn't like sit down and like deep dive plan this or anything. I'm just like, oh, maybe Olivera can do it. And I threw a team together. So we've got, yeah, I kind of figured Olivera would do the most here. So Olivera did 14 billion, Yigni did the other 7, so that was the 21 we needed. Louise, kind of whatever, and I spent like 5 minutes gearing up Kryla for damage, thinking she'd contribute. Talk about a waste of time. I'll never do that again. Yigni's Unchained LB did more than Kryla, that's amusing. And then Zahn support chained. So there's an all mission. There's a perfect score run with Olivera. So this one actually might be kind of tricky to budget clear, like, you know, true absolute budget, because I'm using pretty good gear and some pretty okay-ish mages, and I'm still only like just barely damage capping. I don't know if I can really go like all the way basement tier budget to perfect score the Alexander fight. I mean, I'll try, but I don't know. Anyway, so what we used was an EX3 Yoshikiri, It is important that he's EX3 for the 160% buff. If you don't have an EX3 Yoshikiri, you could use like Ling for a 150 buff, or actually the Machine Killer buffs go kind of downhill after Ling and Yoshikiri. But Yoshikiri does that. He also does a 300% LB buff, which is a really big help for Olivera. For that, he needs EX2. So all he had was some auto LB stuff so that he could get his LB quicker, and then Louise helped fill it the rest of the way. Zahn was our passive provoker with evasion. We killed on turn 2, I think. So all we needed was provoke on 1 unit, and he spread the buffs and just support chained. So yeah, so I spent like 5 minutes gearing Kryla for spirit-based damage with killers and chaining. I'm like, Kryla can chip in a few billion damage. Yeah, that didn't happen at all. So that's the last time I'll ever attempt to make her a serious DPS. So she had, I mean, only 75 killers. So to be fair, it was a low killer. I just ran out of gear. But yeah, the big thing she does, though, the important thing, is Twilight Pact. This is a 45% Dark Amplify, which is bigger than Olivera can get for himself. It's also a 350 stat buff for everyone that Zahn stole and shared to the party. So that does need EX3. So like I mentioned, this is not a budget run. This is requiring quite a few EX3 units. There are older units, but still, even so. Louise, base form naked. She did the 90% spirit break. Very big deal for damage. Shift form, double non-elemental gun build, and she chained maxed killer, etc. Her damage was absolute trash, but I think she did like 1 billion or something, so, I mean, whatever. But the 90% spirit break, that was a really big deal. Yigni, shift form, 1 instrument, 1 dagger. Actually, if we had brought Ling, we would have had a dagger in peril as well, so Yigni's damage would have gone up by an additional 12.5%. So we would have gotten like an extra billion out of him. So I guess Ling might have been better than Yoshikiri. I don't know. Anyway, here's the build we used. Just magical damage versus machines. Keep in mind, he is a physical killer, so use physical killers on him. So 275 machine killer. And then Olivera in the shift form. His LB damage outside of Clash does scale on MP. Keep that in mind. So 10,000 MP, instrument, there it is. And he's actually going to, truth be told, get a fair amount decently better once the variance patch comes in, because his little violin will get a 50% damage bonus to all his damage, which is going to be awesome. I'm hesitant to say he'll be good after the future variance patch, but you never know. He might be. I don't know. And the variance patch I'm talking about, by the way, is the Mage variance patch. That is not the one coming Thursday. The one coming Thursday is the physical variance patch. The Mage variance patch is still not due for a while, but it'll be here eventually. So here's the build we used. I'm pretty sure he was maxed on everything. So there we go. 10,000 MP. Maxed LB damage, max machine killer, and yeah, so we did a perfect score with Olivera and Yigni. Got it done at least. As far as the budget run, like I don't know, guys. I am not having a ton of ideas about how I could like super cheaply cap this guy with budget units, because I don't have Angela. Angela should be able to really easily cap this. If you have her, you'd have to stack her up, of course, which, you know, takes some workarounds, but it's doable. I don't have her to show that. Who else? Fire and Dark Mages. Dark Rain is due soon, so he might be next week. If he comes out, he can obviously do a lot of damage here. He would suffer with the 1-hit damage cap, though, so the most he could do is 10 billion. And he's premium, so he's like certainly not a budget option. I don't know. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll get. Let me know some ideas in the comments, and maybe I'll see a good comment idea, and I'll run that team and show a different budget run. Like this one's easy to cap if you've got like super good gear and units. It's just hard to budget run. Anyway, the video is long enough. See you next time.